Today I want to start a short conversation about my journey for the last year to check out a science that has promised to be one of the most significant breakthroughs of our lifetime. Now, this could be your energy, your vitality, your stamina, your endurance. In other words, what's going on with you mentally and physically. The product has not been released, and I'm not a company spokesperson, but in the next few minutes, I will report on my fact-finding and due diligence. In brief summary, this is what I heard from trusted colleagues and people with solid credentials. Number one, it works. It's safe. And the people who have tested the product, they don't want to live another day without this product. Number two, the universities, the 100+ scientists, the people working on the advisory board, and the members of this billion-dollar company have put their names and their reputations behind this, and they are the best of the best. Number three, I personally talked to the scientists and many others involved in the development and the study of this product. Their enthusiasm for this product is infectious. I was shocked to find out that the product contained no sugar, no caffeine, or other addictive substances. So far, the people that have tried this product want the product to be part of their life, and they want it as soon as possible. But let me take a few minutes and include some facts and some data. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I'll do this because I find it is so fascinating. Every person on Earth starts to age the moment we're born. Most of us are okay with that until we get to adulthood and start changing inside and out, losing our hair and losing our energy. We get that morning, I can't get going, that afternoon, that dip, or even in the evening, that crash. Sometimes the stimulants we take can even affect our sleeping habits. Well, billions of dollars of R&D and 30+ years of scientific research leads us to one of the biggest announcements ever. Now, I'd like to compare this breakthrough to my experience with arthroscopy. You may remember it kind of foreign sounding back then when the surgeons started to talk about it, but today it's commonplace. But there we were with the pessimists, the doubters, and it seemed like it was such a drastic breakthrough. Well, it was. In fact, it was 12 weeks in a cast and a big long incision and a lot of soft tissue damage compared to a couple days of rehab. I can remember football players getting injured on a Saturday, having surgery on a Monday, and kicking another field goal the next week. This was a major breakthrough. What I'm talking to you about today is also a major breakthrough. Well, what's the story here? It's that our genes determine our age, inside and out. Now, the best analogy I know for this is the computer. Most of you have a PC computer out there, and you know that by the time you download things, you go to the internet, you look at an attachment, for whatever reason, that computer starts to bog down and slow down. It's a real problem, and if not reset or restarted, that computer will get slower and slower. Well, guess what? The analogy is identical to the genes. In other words, our genes start to age as well, and we start to slow down. And just like that computer restart or reset button, the scientists have found the reset button here. Now look at this slide here with identical twins. Isn't this interesting? Twin number one and twin number two. Now they're identical twins, and yet you see one has advanced agings. How is this possible? Well, the scale has to be balanced, and that's the big story here. You see, there are aging genes. They need to be slowed down or influenced down. There are youth genes, and they need to be increased or sped up. Is that possible? And if so, who came up with this incredible science and theory? Well, it was the right team. I want to start in Madison, Wisconsin, kind of the epicenter of where all this began, with two professors at the University of Wisconsin. They were the leaders in the field of genetics and gene expression profiling, and much, much more. Just Google in LifeGen and see what you get. And also Stanford University, currently ranked 6th in research according to U.S. News and World Report. Now that's a couple of big strategic partners. But all of this was escalated when the human genome was mapped. It gave it a turbo boost, and all of a sudden, $3 billion, 20 labs with hundreds of scientists, 6 countries, and we had ourselves a mapping of the human genome. But who would put all this together? Well, let's start with 125 world-class scientists. That's the group that said, we want to dominate this anti-aging space. So Pharmanex has an incredible story of its own. How Dr. Michael Chang, one of the top scientists in the world, he grabbed his colleagues, most of them working for pharmaceutical companies, and they decided to bring the discipline of the pharma world to the herbal or the botanical or the nutraceutical world and industry. The result? A one-of-a-kind, world-class company with a revered advisory board and 125 world-class full-time employed scientists. Today, Dr. Chang continues to guide the company where no company has gone. But it's now Dr. Joe Chang that is running the ship. There is really nothing to compare it to. Now, you can't just start a company with just a couple would-be doctors or scientists. Nutritional science is very complex. It's not enough to have a couple passionate medical or nutritional gurus on staff. To do this right, you need a large, diverse team. Chemists, pharmacologists, biologists, nutritionists, that's just to name a few. And then, of course, you would need world-class labs and facilities. Well, look at the new age-locked campus. The building on the left is already functional, along with several buildings not shown here. But Pharmanex will start construction on the new anti-aging center this year. Well, this is the slide I like most. Pay particular attention to this one. The word algorithm is cool.